as we get started here, the first one is set builder notation. We have a number line, and of course, number one will be set builder on when you take the exam also. I'm gonna come along the number line and look at my first number there, and it looks like it's -3, isn't it? Okay, so I'm looking at -3 right here. And I'm gonna stop at 4. I'm gonna put my X in between. Now, -3, is it included in the solution? I've already kind of went over it, but it is a solid line there, so that has to be greater than or equal to, and then the 4 is just less than. So then all we need is really X such that X has to be in that inequality. So just come along this way, see what your first number was. It was -3, drop the X in between. The second one was +4 right here. And then you can see what's going on with that inequality, X such that. Everybody okay with number one? I'm not gonna go real fast, because if you're taking notes, you're dropping something down on your note card. It's helpful. Okay, I'm gonna post this video, so you'll be able to go through it again if you're interested. Simplify the expression. So square root of 50 over square root of 98. 50, 25 times 2. So I have the square root of 2 times the square root of 25. Come back to that in a second. 98, 2 times 49. So that 2 is the square root of 2 times the square root of 49. Now, what's neat is these square roots of 2 basically cancel. It's like 1 over 1, isn't it? So we end up with the square root of 25, of course, which is 5. Square root of 49, of course, which is, oops, not 9 there. How about 7? So we have a fraction radical. We've simplified radicals all year long. For sets of 2, I found perfect squares. That would be 2 times 5 times 5. The bottom would be 2 times 7 times 7. Take sets of pairs out, or you can look for those perfect squares. Everybody okay on number 2? Very good. Number 3, combine like things. Okay, simplify this expression. We have s squared and 5s squared, so that's going to give me 6s squared. That would take care of those. Minus 3s, there's nothing to go along with that. Plus t. So we're just looking at combining like things there. Again. Questions or concerns with that guy? Pretty straight up, isn't it? Okay. Some of you taking a few notes, so let you finish that up. Wrapped presents yesterday, 11 grandkids, 4 presents each kid. That's 44 presents. That's not even the adults. Spent the day, Mrs. Grubb and I, going through lots of wrapping. She has to convince me to do it. But I gotta help her, it's just too much, don't you think? I said, let's give money. But it's not as much fun as it. Not like buying a little 2-year-old a gift, or a 10-year-old, so. All right, we have raised to the power here, so -5 times -5 would be 25. Remember, that'd be 25a squared. Raised to the power here, we wrote it out, we expanded it, it'd be like 5 of those, but I'm just gonna raise the power, so it's gonna be a to the 10th and b to the 5th. So when we raise to the power, we multiply, right? Well, now we've taken care of those powers, so now we're just down to multiplying numbers and add exponents, which we've been doing for a while, haven't we? Well, it's 25 times 1, which is 25. We're gonna have a to the 12th, and we're gonna have b to the fifth, aren't we? So be careful there, raise to the power. Be careful, we have -5 times -5 is positive 25. Jot yourself down a note or two on your card, whatever you need, because number 5 is gonna be the same. Excuse me, number 4. Not trying to hide anything. And I'm in no hurry here, so I want you to be able to write stuff down right now about this problem. So we will take our time. I'll interject a thing or two. So we got all done, and one kid, everybody had 4 gifts, but everybody had 4 gifts, but one kid had 3, so guess what? Gotta go get another gift for that kid. That grandkid's getting something else today. So, you see my email light up. It's like Amazon. Hey, thank you, Mrs. Bell. Hey, you're on Amazon again. Yep. Who doesn't like Amazon anymore? All right, number 5. Distribute and simplify. We'll distribute, I think that's going to give me -96 minus 32y equals -64. So I'm going to take that -4 over those. I'm going to plus 96. I think I get -32y equals positive 32. Divide by -32 now. And I'm looking at y equaling -1. My friend, some real basic algebra here, isn't it? We haven't even hit algebra 2 yet. We will we'll get a little further down on the assessment, but I remember these are multiple choice also. Be careful with 4. That's the one I would be concerned about so far. So, all right, moving on to number 6. Solve and graph. We have a tendency when we think graph to think what? Cartesian coordinate, right? But this one isn't. It's a single variable graph. So it's a line graph, okay? Remember when we're talking about those line graphs, there's possibility of it being a false statement, okay? If it is false, there's no solution, is there? There's also the possibility of it just being a true statement, and that would be all the reals, okay? And you could have something like x, greater than 4, where you would graph on a line. So those are the 3 possibilities. X less than something, x greater than, whatever it might be. Okay? So let's work this one out and see what's going on with it. Got a little work to do. We'll distribute. -20 plus 10x greater than 10x plus 8. So distributing there, the 5, and then distributing the 2. Now notice right away I have 10x, 10x, so something's already starting to be a little fishy for me. When I subtract 10x from one side or the other, I am going to end up with this statement right here, -20 greater than or equal to 8. Because the x's ended up being eliminated. Well, now I'm down to saying to myself, is that true or is that false? Well, -20 is not greater than 8, is it? So this ended up being false, okay? And when I have a false statement, there's no x that we can put in there that would solve this. There's no value for x that would make this true. That's all that means. No value of x that will make this true. I'll probably stay up too late tonight watching the Browns. Unless they're winning big. Of course, if they're any bigger than I watch, but the other end of the spectrum probably won't watch. You're too involved. How we doing there? Everybody good? We're number 7. Now, number 7, you're gonna need a formula. And again, I won't provide that. That's what your car's for. And that's gonna be y minus y1 equals your slope, x minus x of 1. That is the point slope form. Another thing you might want to jot down, okay, if it's parallel, okay, parallel lines is the same slope. Perpendicular lines would be the opposite. Reciprocal would be the slope. I abbreviated all those things there. Parallel is the same slope. Perpendicular is opposite reciprocal. So now let's plug in some information that we have into our nice little formula here. We have y minus, but it's a minus, it's a 4, isn't it? So it's going to be plus 4. Okay, so your x, y, and it's kind of comes down here, but your 4 is right here. So we're plugging in a y value, but it's negative, negative, so it's positive. Then we're going to go with our slope. It is parallel, right? So it's the same, so it's going to be negative 2. Then we're going to have our x, again, minus, minus, so plus 2. All right, ready to do some work here. We're going to have y plus 4 equals negative 2x minus 4. After we distribute, we're going to put it in slope-intercept form. I'm going to minus 4. So I'm finally end up with y equals negative 2x minus 8. This is where I made some lasagna yesterday. And she had to make me eat some broccoli with it. I don't mind broccoli. I gotta put a little cheddar cheese on it. It's not too bad, is it? A lot going on that one. You're gonna need to know a few things there, get that formula. Get this guy right here. Make sure you know parallel, same, perpendicular, opposite, reciprocal. Slope-intercept form, you're gonna get it to y equals mx plus b in the end, and that's, again, these are gonna be multiple choice. You'll see that that needs to be in y equals mx plus b. How we doing, my friends? Everybody okay? People writing, I don't wanna, again, I don't wanna be in a hurry. We got plenty of time. Northwest looked pretty good.
That's all.
I watched it. I streamed it and I watched about half your game. All right. Everybody ready for 8? Now here it says graph the inequality. Now this graph is y mx plus b, isn't it? So this one will be a Cartesian. And this is one where we have to shade the true side. So we're looking to find the true side. So, okay. And we have to shade. So we are going to need to draw ourselves a little coordinate on this one because I don't have one up here. But your quiz or your exam will have 4 of them for you to choose from. So number 1, you got to graph this thing right, okay? So it's already in y equals mx plus b for you. Okay, so negative 2 is our intercept. Looks like it's a positive slope, so up 3, 1, 2, 3 over 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks like that guy's up there. I don't think you need to worry about labeling anything because I don't think it will matter. You're just gonna look for the right thing there. If you're feeling a little uncomfortable with graphing, use your graphing calculator and go to y equals, with me? Go to y equals and plug it in and make sure the graph looks the same as the one you have up there and check. Everybody okay so far? All right, we're looking for that true side. I'm gonna change my color because I want to graph. I'm done with this. I don't really care. I'm gonna go with this now. Zero's here. I'll put 0 in for y. I put 0 in for x. That's the statement that I have. Now, so that's about this side. Is this side over here with a dot, is this the true side or false? Was 0 greater than -2? Well, yes, that is true. So this happens to be the true side because I chose that spot on that. So I am going to shade that away. Where are we at? Feeling okay? Number 9. Number 9 has a lot going on, okay? Take some good notes on 9 here. It's an absolute value. When we see that absolute value, we need to think 2. You gotta write 2 separate ones. So first you gotta think, is it a great or is it a less than? Well, this is a great or, isn't it? So I'm gonna put or between my statements, my 2 things I'm gonna create. Remember, when they have an absolute value, one's gonna be exactly the same. One's exactly the same. The second one is gonna be 12 plus 4x. Now I'm gonna switch the inequality and also make this negative. So there is a little bit going on here on this absolute value problem. Figure out if it's an and or an or. Gotta write one exactly the same, and the second one, switch that inequality and make it negative. Now you're just solving, and we're gonna put them on a number line. Minus 12, 4x greater than 4, divide by 4. This one is x greater than 1. -12, we're gonna get 4x less than -28, divide by 4. You're gonna get x less than -7. I'm gonna squeeze down here and put a number line right here. We'll put 0, and we're really interested in 1, and down here, -7. Let's go from there and see what we got. Come over here. X greater, just greater than 1 would be open, and greater is everything. Remember, this is an or, so it's whatever they have. There's no, remember, and would be what they have in common. Here we're looking at -7, less than -7, open also, and that guy's sliding this way. So that one really, there's a lot there, isn't there? Questions on that guy? Anyone? All right. Substitution. This one's really set up for a nice, easy substitution problem. Everybody okay? I don't want to go too fast. Everybody good there? Ready to move on? Okay. This one's set up nice and slick for substitution. Again, I mean, it is multiple choice, friends. Am I gonna be able to tell what method you're using? No, but this one's really, really set up easily for substitution because we've already solved for y here. See it? I can just plug it right there. So I'm gonna have 3x plus x plus 5 equals -3. Put the x's together, I'm gonna get 4x plus 5 equals -3. I'm gonna minus 5. I'm gonna get 4x equals -8. Of course, divide by 4, I'm gonna end up being x equaling -2. So that's part of my solution, of course. Remember, this is a intersection of a system of equations. Two linears, where they intersect is what we're trying to find. So we have our x now. We just need to plug into either equation, but the first one here, right here, is looking pretty slick for me to do that. I already solved for y, which is what I'm trying to get. So I'm gonna have -2 plus 5 to give me 3. So there's our first 10. How do we feel about those? I think they're pretty easy. Obviously, there's some stuff coming up that's a little more tricky, but those first 10 make some hay. The absolute value might be, the trickiest one. Make sure you get the area shaded right. Everybody okay? Okay, I'd like you to use, your time wisely now and try to do the next set of 10. Or you could also obviously look on your phone and see what's going on with that. Thank you.